Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time, make sure you subscribe. We're here in Vegas and we're here at the new Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, Hell's Kitchen. We made a reservation to dine in for 11 o'clock. Is it as good? Is it as good as the hype? Let's check it out. Hell's Kitchen, let's go. So the beef Wellington is the most famous one. It's Gordon Ramsay's signature dish. We also have the 3-course with one pairing, $100 for the 3 courses, and then you can add for one pairing. So the 3 courses are $100, and then you can choose from the 2 appetizers, and you get the beef Wellington and the dessert, the toffee pudding, or you can just choose like by itself. So the lobster risotto and the pan-seared scallops are their special. And their entrees, of course, the beef Wellington is the famous one. Yeah, one 3 courses and one just like entree by itself.
And a lobster risotto.
And a lobster risotto.
And a Brussels sprout.
Well, I don't know if we need Brussels sprouts.
We do, but there's no sides.
Okay, let's see.
For the signature 3-course menu, we ordered the scallops, which comes in 5, and each scallop is coated with scallion and a really nice cream sauce underneath, and a little bit of the brown sauce. This is probably the best scallops I've ever had. In terms of the texture, it's very, very tender. It's not overcooked at all. It's like perfectly browned and also very, very tender. Brandon said the reason why it tastes so good is because it's also high quality scallops. It's definitely better than the frozen ones that we get from the grocery store, and it's perfectly seasoned and cooked. It's definitely a must try. The presentation of the dish is also perfect. The flavor is savory with a little bit of the scallion flavor, and it also tastes a little bit of sweet. I think the sweetness comes from the sauce and the scallop. Overall, it's 10 out of 10. I would definitely come back for this dish. If you love scallops, definitely try this out. And also, I felt like the portion is pretty big enough as an appetizer, because a lot of the other fancy restaurant dishes give you maybe 2 or 3, but they give you 5, which just makes me really happy. All right, another must-try dish, which is not in the signature 3-course menu, is the lobster risotto. Our server highly recommended it, so we ordered it, and it has a big piece of lobster tail on top of the risotto. It is very creamy in terms of the texture. The risotto is perfectly flavored. It also has scallion on top. It has a very nice umami flavor from the seafood, but also from the actual risotto itself. It just, the whole meal just blend in together. Brendan actually loves this one even more than the scallops, which I understand because I feel like we eat scallops from other restaurants too, but very rarely they serve the lobster risotto. It's perfectly cooked. Highly, highly, highly recommend. If you love that creamy risotto, definitely get this one. The appetizers also came out really quickly, like almost like within 5 to 7 minutes, which is impressive. For main entree, what's a must try is the beef Wellington. So of course we ordered it. That comes with the 3-course signature menu dish. So beef Wellington is a traditional British dish. It is said to originate from the 1800s after Wellington won a victory in Waterloo. So the celebratory dish became a classic that rose from the popularity as a fancy centerpiece served at the dinner parties during the holidays in the mid-1900s. So basically the dish centers around beef surrounded by pate, mushrooms, and some form of ham that's wrapped in a puff pastry and baked in the oven. Want it to be somewhat like medium to medium rare, maybe medium well, but at the same time maintain that moisture as much as possible. For the Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, you can tell that the pastry is very puffy, very flaky, and the meat is kind of like medium rare. It looks super moist. All right, let's try it. Also, for the second dish, we decided to order the crispy skin salmon. I don't know, since we already have the beef, we might as well get the seafood. This one, it comes with some sort of cream sauce and a little bit of lentils at the bottom, but the salmon skin is super crispy. That's like the signature of this dish. In terms of the salmon itself, it's just normal salmon. It's not like anything fancy or anything special, but the texture of the skin is super crispy. We also ordered 2 side dishes because Brenda was under the impression that the portion would be small, but honestly the portions are pretty big. We actually had to take these side dishes to go. The first one is the Brussels sprouts with thick bacon, and the second one is the mac and cheese. The mac and cheese actually looks so good with like a super crispy cheese on top, and it was also recommended by our server. Alright, now let's give it a try. Let's try these.
Alright guys, so let's try the salmon. The salmon is like super crispy on the skin.
More crispy.
Brandon wants a more crispy one. It's so crispy when you cut into it. It's so crispy. So crispy. It feels like the salmon skin is like fried or something. Also flavor. I feel like the flavor is like very normal. The salmon.
Yeah, it tastes like normal salmon.
It tastes like normal salmon.
But the skin is definitely very crispy.
The skin is very crispy. Let's try my little beef Wellington then. Has a very nice pastry with stuff. The pastry just smells so good, honestly. I like it a lot. I think the pastry is making it taste very, very special. It's super flaky, very buttery. The pastry smells so good and the texture is so good. It has a lot of flavor and texture. Like, this is the greatest invention of the food industry. Medium?
Rare.
It's rare? I want to say it's medium rare.
Medium rare, but
Medium rare with the sauce. The sauce is really good. What type of sauce is it?
I guess it's a demi-glaze, but I'm not sure.
Huh?
I guess it's a demi-glaze, but I'm not sure.
I just really like the pastry. There's a little bit more pastry because it just tastes so good. How's the steak? Do you like it?
It's good. It is good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this steak?
Well, it's a solid 8.5. Cooked well. It's cooked well. Has good flavor.
Cooked well, it has really good flavor. How would you do to make it even better?
Or seasoning.
Brandon loves more seasoning, but I think it's actually really good.
And I like it when my steak is charred. There's no char.
To make this charred, but I really like it. I'll give this one 9 out of 10. But I definitely think the beef Wellington is better than the salmon. The salmon has really good texture. Flavor wise, it's very like generic. Right? There's nothing special about it.
I could make that salmon. I do make that salmon. But I can't make the well down on it.
Yeah. Let's try the lentil a little bit with the vegetables on the salmon. Yeah, the size of the salmon is okay. Not my favorite.
I want to say the salmon dish was just okay. It's definitely very crispy on the skin part. I honestly don't know how they make the skin so crispy. It's probably the secret of this dish. But in terms of the flavor, it's just like normal salmon flavor. It's just the normal flavor that Brandon always makes at home. So I actually didn't think the salmon dish was anything special. The sides and the sauce in the salmon dish was like okay. It's good. It's a little bit creamy and it has lentils to the side. It has a little bit pickled vegetables in there, and the sauce is a little bit sweet and sour. But at the same time, I just felt like it was like okay. I felt like the salmon dish, I would give it probably 7 out of 10. I would eat this again, but it's not like a dish that I would like, oh, I'm gonna go to Hell's Kitchen just to get this salmon. It's like a good dish and it has some special to it because of the skin, but I don't like to eat salmon skin in general, so it doesn't really appeal to me that much. So definitely I would go for the beef Wellington compared to the salmon dish, unless you don't eat beef. In terms of the beef Wellington, Brandon gives this dish 8.5. I want to give this 9 out of 10. So Brandon actually likes charcoal steak, he likes grilled steak, versus this particular steak is baked because beef Wellington is supposed to be baked in the oven for like about 40 minutes. So of course the texture of this dish, of the texture of the fillet, is a little bit different from like if you grill the fillet on the grill. So that's why I think Brandon didn't like it as much as me, because I actually hate the charcoaled meat. So to me this is perfect. It's so tender. I love the different layers in the beef Wellington, and I love the puffed pastry. It's so buttery, so flaky, so puffy. I just love this dish. Honestly, I want to eat the pastry by its own too, because it's just so yummy. So I want to say this dish is definitely worth trying. It's 9 out of 10. Like, I like it a lot, and it's like a very good ratio in terms of the beef fillet in the middle and the different layers and also on the puffed pastry on the outside. I actually don't eat beef Wellington a lot, so it's not like I've eaten better Wellingtons than this. So I want to say, like, it's not like I have a lot of these to compare with, but I want to say, like, I love the way they cook this dish. I love the flavor, I love the layers, and I love the puff pastry the most.
This Brussels sprouts with.
Alright, let's try the Brussels sprouts. They give you a lot of bacon in there, and those are thick bacon. The Brussels sprouts are not air fried, they're probably baked. It's a little bit on the soggier side in terms of the texture.
Brussels sprouts are too soggy.
Yes, Brussels sprouts are too soggy. You say 7?
6.5.
The Brussels sprouts has good flavor, but it's too soggy. It's not the best texture. We give it 6.5 to 7. But let's try the mac and cheese. It looks so cheesy. Look at this. Look at the cheese crunch at the top, and then I think it's a little bit bacon on the top with mac and cheese noodles. It looks so amazing. Let's give it a try.
9.5. This is great.
This is
Great.
cheese. You recommend it by a server?
That's real good.
He said
This is way. I definitely eat this.
it's very cheesy and it's very good texture.
Tons of flavor. The cheese that they use is real different. It's good.
So I would say if you're ordering a side, definitely consider that.
Look at this.
Yeah, this one is like not bad, but I've had better ones than this. The mac and cheese is definitely one of the best ones. I would say the Brussels sprouts, like if you're a health nut, like I'm definitely eating it for the health factor. There's a little bit of like a cranberry, almost like sweetness to the Brussels sprouts, like sweet and sourness to the Brussels sprouts. But the texture of the Brussels sprouts is like meh.
Too mushy.
It's like a too mushy. Flavor-wise is good. Texture-wise is like okay. So 7-ish, 7 out of 10. But the mac and cheese is good. The cheese on the top is very crispy, so definitely recommend the mac and cheese.
Sticky toffee pudding.
This is the sticky toffee pudding.
Alright, so this sticky toffee pudding is just so good. The texture is very moist and sticky, and I love the toffee flavor. It's sweet, but I feel like it's like a very balanced sweetness, and it also has like a little scoop of ice cream on top, and when you like scoop into it, it's just the perfect texture. And normally I don't eat toffee, normally I don't like eat dessert, but this one is just a godsend. It's so good to the point that even I couldn't resist, and I'm not even like a huge dessert person. So this is definitely a must-try item from the menu.
Yeah. It's super good. It's actually super good with the ice cream. And I don't even like dessert. This is actually super good. They're 10 out of 10. It's very nice, sticky texture, very soft, tender, with the toffee flavor and the ice cream flavor.
Yeah, let me see.
It's super good.
Yeah, super.
It's not too sweet.
Well, it's super sweet.
It's sweet, but it's not like
There's a ton of sweet.
it's not like disgustingly sweet. It's like the perfect amount of sweetness.
So good.
It's so good. It's 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. This is so good.
But I've had this before.
You've had this before in other Gordon Ramsay's restaurant? Yeah, it's offered in other Gordon Ramsay's restaurant too, apparently, but it's super good. I would eat this again. And I normally don't like dessert, but this one is 10 out of 10.
I think it tastes real good. I would definitely come back. Yeah, as long as you're willing to pay the price, it tastes totally fine.
Yeah, the price is definitely a high.
That's going to cost.
$100 per person, at least.
That's going to cost them $270. So.
No, $100 per person, at least.
Right.
But we ordered more sizes. I feel like we didn't need to order 2 sizes. We could have just get one size. I think it's probably $125 per person. Well, I think it's worth it to try at least once.
To be expected since you eat at a celebrity chef restaurant. In
Yeah,
Las Vegas.
and
That's how it always
it's super, the service is super fast and everything is so great, right?
Yep.
We have a great dining experience. All right, that's it for today's video. Thumbs up and subscribe, and check out my other Vegas food vlog and my other vlogs and videos in the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.